about a fried egg. I lasted about 5 minutes out there. I said, to heck with this. I'll do this in the morning. And I don't have any inside information. The lady that did it, she got in there. She made it happen.
And he doesn't shy away from opinion.
And I do enjoy drinking cold beer at ballparks. So if that makes me a baseball fan, then I'm a diehard baseball fan.
It's Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
And a very good Friday evening to you, Jacksonville. It is Hacker After Dark, 1010XL 92.5 FM with Casey Dobson in for Dylan Denmark tonight.
Woo!
I'm the Hacker, Ryan Green. Glad you're with us. Glad you're with us to close out the week here on Hacker After Dark. What has been a very good week, right? Training camp back in the fold. We are now 3 practices in for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They will be back out on that field tomorrow morning. We will be out there as well. They'll also have practices on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next week. So we're right in the swing of it. In fact, the pads, I believe, come on next Tuesday, if memory serves. So that's when you'll start to really see some stuff. When those pads come on, and then the week after that, you play the Kansas City Chiefs preseason game number 1. It's going to go quick. There's no question about that. We're absolutely jam-packed tonight to close out the week here on Hacker After Dark. Coming up in less than 15 minutes, Walker Little, offensive tackle for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I had the opportunity to catch up with Walker earlier today after practice down at the Miller Electric Center. We'll bring you part of that conversation. Walker Little, to me, may be in a battle for left tackle. I think Cam Robinson still is the leader, but I think Walker Little is going to get an opportunity there. Walker Little, it's a very interesting year for him. A former second-round pick, a guy that absolutely belongs on this roster, yet he's coming into the final year of his contract, as is Cam Robinson. Both Robinson and Little are going to be unrestricted free agents following the 24 season. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens there at left tackle. But we will bring you the comments of Walker Little, my conversation with him earlier on. If you missed earlier this week, my conversations with Darnell Savage and Andrew Dewey Wingard, and boy, both guys had a lot to say, and Dewey Wingard had a lot to get off his chest. We will play both of those conversations for you coming up later on in the 9 o'clock hour. Also, 4-year offensive lineman in the NFL, spent time with Tennessee, here in Jacksonville, was actually drafted by Pittsburgh, and he just won a UFL championship with Birmingham about a month or so ago. My buddy Derwin Gray will join us. Derwin's interesting because he was here as a member of the Jaguar roster during the 2021 offseason. So he was here in the building, teammates with Tyson Campbell, who just got that contract extension. We'll talk to Derwin about that. Derwin was the guy as well that, look, got cut in Pittsburgh but landed here in Jacksonville. Got cut in Jacksonville but then landed in Tennessee and carved out a 4-year NFL career for himself. That's going to be the story for a lot of guys in training camp that know it's a numbers game, but they got to put enough on film, like Derwin Gray did, to go from Pittsburgh to Jacksonville to Tennessee. So we're going to talk about that aspect of training camp, also get his thoughts on the Jaguar roster as well. That conversation with former NFL offensive lineman Derwin Gray comes up in less than 30 minutes. But as always, we're certainly glad you are spending part of your Friday evening with us. Every night here on Hacker After Dark, we give you a big deal of the night, and Casey Dobson. Let's do that right now.
Time now for the big deal of the night.
What's the big deal? What is the big deal?
No big deal. It is a big deal.
On Hacker After Dark.
You know, I thought we were done talking about this, or at least I thought I was done talking about this, until a few things have been brought to light over the last couple of days. It was 201 days ago, 201, that the Jaguars lost to the Tennessee Titans on January 7th to finish the biggest late-season collapse in franchise history, losing the division, and quite frankly, losing the momentum that had been building with this organization for the last year and a half. And we here on Hacker After Dark, every other show here on 1010XL, obviously, you guys at your local watering hole all off season, you've talked about that collapse. We've talked about what happened, ways to fix it. Why did it happen? How can you avoid it happening again? I mean, that's what we have done for the better part of the last 201 days. And when training camp opened on Wednesday, I came on here Wednesday night and I said, look, it's over. The new season's here. We're going to put the collapse in the memory banks. Well, I think I can put it in the memory bank. I think you, the Jaguar fan, can put it in the memory bank. But I don't believe these players have put it in the memory bank. Absolutely not. Evan Ingram met the media earlier today down at the Miller Electric Center. And Evan Ingram had quite a lot to say. Beginning with this team, the Jaguar team coming into 2024, believes they have a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, what other way would we want it, honestly? Definitely, obviously we're turning the page, but we got work to do. We got something to prove. So it's really to ourselves. We know how talented we are. We know the goals we want to achieve, and we know the work that needs to be put in. So we're not taking one day for granted. We're not taking one rep for granted. All the guys are locked in. They understand what's at stake.
The entire offseason, we've talked about Houston. We've talked about, and here's the thing with the AFC South, right? And keep in mind, this time a year ago, it was all Jacksonville. Houston won the offseason with Danielle Hunter, Joe Mixon, Stephon Diggs, Danico Autry. Tennessee spent $1 trillion on Calvin Ridley and L'Jarius Sneed, Lloyd Cushenberry and Tony Pollard and Tyler Boyd and Chidobe Awuzie, Kenneth Murray. And Indianapolis gets Anthony Richardson back. That's all you've heard, right? Oh, yeah, and Jacksonville collapsed at the end of last year. This is no longer Jacksonville's division. This is Houston's division. Well, obviously the guys down in that locker room have heard a lot of that as well. Here's Evan Ingram earlier today talk about the fact of being doubted as a football team coming into the year.
I think obviously everybody likes a nice underdog story, but the way we see ourselves as a really, really good team. The way we work and the way we see ourselves is a team that should not be slept on. So, but we gotta go prove that. And at the end of the day, we're going to get an opportunity every Sunday to go out there and compete, and we got to cash in on those ops. So, our success is going to be determined on how we work this camp and how we better each other this camp, how we attack every single day in the grind days and the dog days of camp. It's going to build the mental fortitude to attack week in and week out in the season. So, obviously, yeah, we got some work to do, and we'll love to prove the haters and the doubters wrong, but we got a lot of work to do to prove ourselves right first, and then that will come naturally.
Now, that was a really good answer by Evan Ingram, right? We're in an election year. That was a good, solid answer. No bulletin board material or any stretch like that. Andrew Dewey Wingard, in the conversation I had with him yesterday, I don't think he really gave any bulletin board material. And Dewey has come on with me many, many times and will continue to come on many, many times. And I always appreciate his honesty. I love talking to Andrew Dewey Wingard. Those of you that have listened to me for years, Dewey's one of my favorite Jaguar players. Because that's my claim to fame. 2019, I deemed him as my guy as an undrafted free agent. Leon Searcy was a witness, in case no one believes me. Leon will vouch for me. He was standing right there. And Dewey now is one of the longest tenured Jaguars. But I asked Dewey yesterday about Houston, Indianapolis, Tennessee, and Dewey stopped me dead in my tracks and didn't even let me get the question out.
Good. We don't need any. Good. Let them have all that. Let them have all the hype. I look back on 22. We were hungry dogs that were out to prove something. So good. That's all I had to say.
When I asked him about Houston getting all the offseason love, that goes back to what I started at the beginning. You, the Jaguar fan, we in the Jaguar media, the collective us, I believe now that training camp has arrived, a new season is here. I mean, heck, the Jaguars play a preseason football game 2 weeks from Saturday. 2 weeks from tomorrow. I believe we now have somewhat turned the page on that collapse last year, losing 5 out of 6. I mean, think of all the guys that are gone, all the guys that are here that had nothing to do with that. It's time for us to turn the page. I don't think those players have turned the page, the ones that were a part of that. You heard Evan Ingram, you heard Andrew Dewey Wingard. I think there is a motivation with this 2024 Jaguar football team based on the way last year ended. Biggest late season collapse in franchise history. There's a little argument there. And based on all the offseason talk about Houston this, Tennessee spending all this money, Indianapolis getting Anthony Richardson back, and oh yeah, Jacksonville no longer controls the division. And the national narrative, Jacksonville's overpaying guys, right? I always enjoyed that one. Gabe Davis got overpaid. Trevor got overpaid. Tyson Campbell got overpaid. That's what they say. That's not what I'm saying. That's what the national guys say. I think Jacksonville, I told you guys this, I think it was a masterclass by Trent Baalke this offseason. But I think the players have heard that for the last 6 months. And I do think there is a chip on their shoulder. I do think there is an anger. I do think they are still PO'd about the way last season ended. And it reminds me, like Dewey said, of that 22 team, a team that was doubted time and time again, and a team that responded. Some teams just like being the underdog. Some teams just like being Duval versus all y'all. That was not the case last year. Clearly, the Jaguars were the favorites. Didn't work out. Now Jacksonville is back in their normal place of being kind of forgotten about, being slept on. And through 3 days of camp and talking to a lot of these guys, I think that is absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, the way they like it. And we'll see what happens as training camp continues. Again, we will be down at the Miller Electric Center again tomorrow. They also have practice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. Press Taylor met the media earlier today. The Jaguar offensive coordinator will play you some of his comments coming up in just a bit. Also, my conversation with Jaguar offensive lineman Walker Little. That's all coming up on a Friday night edition of Hacker After Dark. We're glad you're with us to close out the week right here on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM.
Now, a 1010XL Summer Olympic Update brought to you by
USAPark.net Airport Parking.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2024 Summer Games, sponsored by Kohl's. Heading back to school, head back to Kohl's and Kohl's.com for great style and great prices. A unique opening ceremony, boats in the River Seine, capped by an even more unique Olympic cauldron, a hot air balloon. Now the games are officially underway, and Katie Ledecky, 10 medals and counting, swims in her first event tomorrow, the 400-meter freestyle.
The process and trying to get better each year, trying to get better each quad, never being satisfied, always continuing to look ahead. I think those have been the keys to maintaining this level, continuing to make it back to the Olympics.
Ledecky needs 3 medals to become the most decorated American woman in Olympic history. With this Summer Games update, I'm Brad Heller, Westwood One Sports.
If there's one sale I'm always going to shop, it's Kohl's Friends and Family Sale. I just saved an extra 25% because I spent $75. But even if you spend less, you can still save with 20%. And Kohl's has everything you need for summer fun. I got a cute dress for myself, a casual polo for my husband, and a Ninja Creamy that we can't wait to use. Oh, and I earned Kohl's Cash. Kohl's. Your Friends and Family Sale never fails me. Select styles. Some exclusions apply. Offer ends July 28th. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Hi, I'm April Rose, and we all know about the speed of sound. But have you ever thought about the sounds of speeding? If you drive over the speed limit, there are lots of sounds that you might hear. You could hear the sound of your vehicle crashing, the sound of first responders desperately trying to save you. You could even hear the sound of people crying at a funeral. Because if you drive over the speed limit, you could do damage that's beyond repair. One way or another, speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Jenkins Genesis of Northeast Florida is coming soon and now hiring for technicians, sales, and all positions. If you or someone you know are looking for a new opportunity, apply online at genesisnortheastjacksonville.com. Equal opportunity employer.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. You know, I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation, light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to carlsondentalgroup.com. That's carlsondentalgroup.com for all of your dental needs.
Did you know a metal roof from Prime Roofing has the highest wind and impact ratings available? If you want a stronger roof, think metal. Think Prime Roofing. Learn more at primeroofingfl.com. That's primeroofingfl.com.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Break bread with Dan, Jeff, and PGA Tour insiders on Brunch with the Tour.
What is brunch?
Tour news, tips, and inside info.
Brought to you by Clearwater Irrigation. Brunch provided by Chick-fil-A. Tuesday morning at 8:30
on 1010XL.
Now that's what I call high-quality H2O.
If you want high-quality water in your home at a fair price that won't scare you to death, then talk to someone who knows water and is not a pushy salesman. Contact your local water boy, Keith. I install premium equipment and can repair or even rebuild your existing system. In a business known for aggressive sales tactics, let me show you how my approach is different. If you've got any water problems, contact the water boy at waterboyjack.com.
Hi, I'm David Lane, your average everyday Joe. I'm 5 months out of my back surgery with Southeast Orthopedic, and I'm doing great. Thanks to Dr. Herford and his staff at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
David Garrard here. Playing in the NFL can put a lot of wear and tear on your body, especially your knees. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has kept me mobile and ready to tackle every day.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality product and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Clearwater. John, I can't even mow my side yard. It's so soggy. Man, my builder sucks.
Brent, calm down. This is a common problem in neighborhoods where houses are built too close together. You need gutters and a properly installed French drain that will soak up subsurface water. We can completely dry it up.
So I can take my builder off my speed dial now, huh?
Yeah, we got you, buddy. Let that builder bitterness go.
Clearwater Irrigation and Drainage too.
Hidden Hills Golf Club invites you to come out and experience one of the most beautiful and unique golf courses in North Florida. Affordable golf, friendly service, and great times in the Hills Grill after play. Book your tee time, hiddenhillsgc.com.
Hey folks, this is Dave Benyon with my son Ammon here from Zero Res. Ammon, you've been cleaning air ducts for a while now. What are some of the reasons customers might consider getting their air ducts cleaned?
There are many reasons. Many times, people suffer needlessly from poor indoor air quality produced by the conditions in their air system. Construction dust, the presence of bacterial growth, and years' worth of buildup all come together to make your air ducts a pretty gross place. If you suffer from allergies, have recently moved, recently remodeled, or have never had your air ducts cleaned, then now is the best time to call. By calling Zero Res, you'll have the peace of mind of knowing that you called the best of the best. Our state-of-the-art truck mount system and top-of-the-line service representatives simply can't be found anywhere else. Google Zero Res and read thousands of 5-star reviews.
So what kind of deals can I expect?
Just mention that you heard us on the radio, and we'll give you $100 off your air duct cleaning.
Wow, that sounds like a pretty great deal. Remember, folks, Zero Res,
spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
CEROREC. Zero Res.
This patriotic chant mirrors the enthusiastic efforts our American athletes have dedicated to their quest for a gold medal at this summer's Olympics in Paris. USAPark.net Airport Parking is your safe and secure parking for when you fly out of JIA. No matter where you're going, whether you're traveling to the Olympics to support our athletes or just visiting Grandma, remember to park at USAPark.net.
RJ Saunders here, sports lovers. I recently took a tip from Frank Frangie when I needed to send flowers to my mother. Frank told me that Kuhn Flowers is the only florist he ever uses. So that's what I do now. I use Kuhn Flowers. Find them online at kuhnflowers.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville, Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
Yes, it is. Friday night, Jacksonville, Florida. Glad you are with us. Summer Olympics underway, right? They're replaying the opening ceremony right now. It was held earlier. I'm never going to be confused for Albert Einstein, but I do know that Paris is about 5 or 6 hours ahead of us, so I don't think the opening ceremony over there would be going on at 1:30 in the morning. It happened earlier today. I do always love that. There were, quite frankly, a lot of things that the opening ceremonies did today that I could have gone without seeing. But what I do love is the athletes representing their country coming into Olympic Stadium. That, to me, is phenomenal. Phenomenal. From the littlest countries that have literally 3, 4, 5 athletes to the United States, who's rolling in there with hundreds of athletes for all these sports. And I looked at a list today just for the heck of it, because I'm going to get into it. I said last night, I love it. They start at like 2:30 this morning. I'm going to get up before training camp and watch some of this stuff tomorrow, because these are sports that you literally will only watch every 4 years. But the list of Olympic sports is just crazy to me. How many Olympic sports they have now. And the Olympics actually, like the competition, started on Monday. They have to start this thing 3 or 4 days prior to the opening ceremony, or they'll never get it all in. But yeah, it's going on right now. And again, I love the athletes representing their country, hoisting the flag, walking into Olympic Stadium, or in this case, riding a boat, as they were doing with the Eiffel Tower in the picture there. It was that aspect of it, again, that particular part of the opening ceremony in Paris was very, very cool. Another very cool thing is obviously Jaguar training camp. We're down there every day. Jaguar PR staff has been great to us all week. We certainly appreciate it. That includes my conversation earlier today with offensive lineman Walker Little in a battle with Cam Robinson. I'm going to ask him about that. I'm going to ask him about the criticism this offensive line has gotten this offseason. There's no doubt that question has to be asked. So from earlier today, after practice number 3 of training camp, I had the chance to catch up with Jaguar O-lineman Walker Little. All right, day 3, Jaguar training camp wrapping up. We're at the Miller Electric Center with Jaguar offensive lineman Walker Little. Walker, how are things going out there?
It's good. It's hot, but it's going well.
First week of camp, what are the thoughts coming in as a veteran, 4 years in the league now?
Yeah, I think everyone starting off is just trying to get their feet underneath them. It's always hard going from kind of being in a little break to then starting up full go. And, we have intense camps here, so you got going from the very beginning. But also just we're installing the offense right now, making sure you're on everything. You know what you're doing out there and that we can run it smoothly so that, when it comes September, everything's just everything is just flowing.
Certainly a big change on the offensive line with the addition of Mitch Morse. What has he meant this offseason to you guys?
Yeah, Mitch has been great. He's a great leader. Obviously he's an older vet. He's played a lot of football, and he's been sharing a lot of knowledge with all of us, so it's been great to have him.
And to that point, you talk about Shatley and Morse and Cam and Sheriff. You're like 40 years, right, of offensive line experience. How valuable is that for you and some of the younger guys?
Yeah, for sure. It's really nice. Having all those guys, they've all played a lot of football. They know a lot of football, and the biggest thing is they're so willing to help all of us. That's not always the case with older vets, but with all these guys it is, and it's really been great for me and some of the other young guys.
Sometimes people think you guys are immune to the criticism. You've heard the offseason chatter, I would imagine. What's been the reaction for the offensive line coming into this year, knowing what the thought is out there?
Yeah, I would just say we got a lot of motivation. We got it's not necessarily like we're trying to prove anyone wrong. We're just trying to prove ourselves right. We know we're a really good group. We know we got a lot of good guys. And we know we got some really good running backs. If we can create some holes, they'll run free. So I would say we're a very motivated group right now, and we're working really hard.
A couple of more for Jaguar offensive lineman Walker Little. Obviously, you and Cam Robinson going into your fourth year as teammates. There's a competition there, I think. What's the dynamic between you and Cam right now?
Yeah, me and Cam are great. We've always been great. He's a phenomenal teammate. I can never ask for, honestly, a better teammate. He's taught me so much and helps me out. We've become really good friends, so I love Cam.
As we wrap up, Ryan Nielsen's defense looks like there's a lot of good competition. The pads come on next week. That'll be when it really amps up. But what have you seen from the new defensive coordinator and his scheme out there?
Yeah, they're a really good defense, definitely harping on the fundamentals. I feel like they've done a very good job of just getting lined up where they're supposed to be, and definitely just a physical group right now. It's good for us to be able to go against a group like that every day, and it's going to help us, and hopefully we're helping them.
You were drafted here. Obviously, you see guys like Joshua Hines-Allen, Trevor Lawrence, Tyson Campbell, guys that were drafted here, some of which that were in your class, get contract extensions. What does that mean to the guys in the locker room, the organization taking care of their own guys?
Yeah, I think more than anything, it just proves that those guys worked their asses off, and they earned everything they got, and it just shows that if you stick to it and you work hard, it can happen for you as well. And all those guys are also great leaders and valuable pieces to this team.
Final question: Stanford in the ACC, man. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's weird. I don't think anyone would have thought that they'd be in the Atlantic Coastal Conference, but it'll be cool for them to be some games nearby. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it out to any, unfortunately, but it's definitely going to be an interesting year seeing them play at Clemson or down here in Florida. So it'll be weird, but I'm excited for them.
Certainly some bragging rights on the line, too, when they play those teams. A lot of ACC guys in the locker room. Yeah. Walker, best of luck moving forward.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
There you go. Walker Little with me earlier today down to the Miller Electric Center. Again, thank you to the Jaguar PR staff for helping us out all week with training camp interviews. And I do believe there is a competition there between he and Cam Robinson. How much of a competition, I don't know. I would think Cam is clearly the leader in the clubhouse to get that position. But as we've talked about, that offensive line, I asked Walker Little about that. They were maligned last year. They've been criticized the entire offseason. But you look at it now, let's assume Cam wins the job. All right, I'm not going out on a deep limb there. Let's assume that happens. So Cam Little, not the kicker. Cam Robinson, all right, Ezra Cleveland, Mitch Morse, Brandon Sheriff, Anton Harrison. Those are your five. You could, to me, do a lot worse than guys like Walker Little and Luke Fortner being offensive linemen 6 and 7. Good grief. How much football have Walker Little and Luke Fortner played? And they're now offensive line 6 and 7. They're your depth if anybody gets hurt. Then you got your, Javon Foster, the fourth-round rookie out of Missouri. Cooper Hodges. Blake Hance has played. Tyler Shatley obviously has played. Well, there's not going to be room, I don't think, for all those guys. So, to me, we'll see about the line. Obviously, there's questions there. But the depth there is better than it has been in quite some time. Speaking of the offense, the offense is only as good as the offensive line, but you'd like the quarterback to be pretty good too, right? The quarterback will be good if the offensive line is good. Trevor Lawrence did not have a good day yesterday, intercepted a couple of times by Dewey Wingard. Better day today. I don't think he was great, but he was better, much better. Press Taylor met the media earlier today, and the thought this time of year
the first week or so of training camp, and this goes for every team, not just Jacksonville, but every NFL team, is that generally, not always, but generally, the defense at this time of year is better than the offense, further ahead. So I asked Press Taylor this morning if that was the case, and if so, why?
I don't know. I think there's a give and take within every rep. Again, we don't put the most value on scripted practices and things we're doing. We understand, both groups, both sides of the ball understand we're trying to get something accomplished with this period. Red zone 7-on-7, we're putting in 6 concepts, they're putting in 4 coverages, and let's just mix and match and see how it goes. We continue to build these tapes as we teach. Our guys understand we may not run certain concepts against 2 high coverages. They may only have 2 high coverages in today. Through the course of the season, you're going to get caught at times where something was different than you expected, and you got to be able to do the right thing with football. You got to be able to adjust your route accordingly, and those are the situations we want our guys to see right now as we continue to build this thing out.
Again, the thoughts of Jaguar offensive coordinator Press Taylor. Thank you to the good folks over at Jaguars.com, as always. Press Taylor was also asked about those interceptions that Trevor threw yesterday and the thought process and everything that goes into the teaching aspect when situations like yesterday arise during camp.
Every down is a coaching opportunity for us. So, I felt like one, he was probably late to a throw, left it inside. Dewey made a great play in the corner of the end zone. Another one was a naked. He thought there was going to be a pressure. He pulls up on a naked, which is not something we typically do. But he thought he saw something. He didn't as we go. We watched the film. Immediately he knows. Really, he came off the field right then. I was clean one night. Yeah, you were clean. Continue to attack the edge. The play expresses itself completely differently. They're learning opportunities. Do I think he would have thrown that in the game? Probably not. For the most part, he's been a good decision-making when it's come to throwing the ball in harm's way as it goes. But that's something that I'd rather happen today than in September. So those are things we'll continue to encourage him to take his opportunities to push the ball in certain situations, especially in practice. But again, just communicate with us. Why'd you do that? What made you pull up on a movement play to begin with? Why'd you end up throwing that ball there? Did you like the way you threw the ball? All those certain things. It's just getting the right feedback as we go.
Put something into perspective, too. I know there was a lot of talk yesterday about Trevor's 2 interceptions, right? Because it's what we have to go on right now. The Jaguars don't play a game that matters until 44 days from now when they open the year against the Miami Dolphins. What do you think they're saying in Buffalo today? Didn't I read earlier today where Josh Allen threw like 3 interceptions on essentially like 3 straight passes? It happens this time of year. That's Josh Allen in Buffalo. It's Trevor Lawrence here in Jacksonville. Things like that happen. You much, like Press Taylor said, you much rather them happen in July or in August than certainly September. But teaching opportunities, and hey, I'm looking at the glass half full aspect of that. Ryan Nielsen's got this Jaguar defense starting camp very, very solid. Keep in mind, that collapse last year, Jacksonville scored more than enough points to win the Cincinnati game. The defense couldn't stop Jake Browning. Jacksonville scored more than enough points to win the Cleveland game. The defense couldn't stop Joe Flacco. And Jacksonville scored 20 points and was right in the mix with Tennessee week 18. Defense couldn't stop Derrick Henry and Will Levis. So I'm far more interested, at least right now, early on, at how the defense looks, because I think the offense will be just fine. They got a ton of weapons. I'm not really all that concerned about them as of right now. A lot of Jaguar talk still to come. If you missed our conversations with Darnell Savage and Andrew Wingard from earlier in the week, you'll hear those in the 9 o'clock hour. Coming up next, a former NFL offensive lineman, was drafted by Pittsburgh, spent time here in Jacksonville, finished out in Tennessee, actually just won a UFL championship with Birmingham. My buddy offensive lineman Derwin Gray. I want to talk to Derwin about different aspects of camp. Guys on the bubble, do they know they're on the bubble entering camp? Guys that know it's a numbers game, that know they're probably not going to make the roster. And clearly there are guys here in Jacksonville that probably won't say that publicly, but they have to know. What's it like going through camp? Get things on film for other teams to see. Derwin Gray did a terrific job of that. Left Pittsburgh, found a home here in Jacksonville. Left Jacksonville, found a home in Tennessee. It's a great story. And Derwin Gray was teammates with a lot of these guys back in 2021, including Tyson Campbell, who just got that brand new contract extension. Jaguar talk, AFC South talk with a former Titan and a former Jaguar. My buddy Derwin Gray is next on a Friday night in Jacksonville. You got it right here on Hacker After Dark, 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Soaking in summer on the First Coast.
Summertime.
1010XL.
Attention homeowners, is it time to get your septic tank pumped out? Don't wait until it's too late. At Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing and Septic, our experienced technicians use the latest equipment to pump out your tank safely and efficiently, ensuring that your septic system is running smoothly. Neglecting your septic tank can lead to costly repairs and even health hazards. So call Duck Duck Rooter and schedule your septic tank pumping. Call now, 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckrooter.com. Duck Duck Rooter is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web, precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
Awaken 180 weight loss. Awaken 180 weight loss. I was down at Jaguar training camp today. I had not one, not two, but 3 fans stop me. Say, Hacker, you're looking great, man. We hear the spots. You're looking fantastic. You know how good that feels? Because honestly, I did not hear that for a long time because I didn't look good. I looked terrible. I could see the mirror. I could see the stream online. I knew I was way, way overweight. You know what changed? My attitude, my life, thanks to Awaken 180 weight loss. The best weight loss program I've ever been on. Over 80 pounds and counting, by the way, I've lost on Awaken 180 weight loss. Do yourself a favor. If you need to drop some pounds like I did, go to awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800. They are changing lives. I know this because I'm one of them. Awaken 180 weight loss.
Are your kids ready to play this summer? Come check out the Y. Summer is a time for kids to explore new things and expand the limits of their imagination. At the Y Summer Camp, every day is a new adventure. Kids can learn about STEM, arts and humanities, athletic sports, outdoor games, and more. Registration is now open, but space is limited, and spots are filling up quickly. Learn more and find your adventure at fcymca.org. Search Summer Day Camp.
Vegas, baby. This is Taylor Dahl from Helmets and Heels, and we're sending one lucky listener to Circa Resort and Casino this December. Win a free 3-night stay with $200 food and beverage credit, plus a daybed at Stadium Swim. With 6 temperature-controlled pools and a massive
10. Former Jaguars corner and first-year head football coach at Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows, K-12, Aaron Beasley here. Are you looking for an A-rated K-12 school prioritizing academics, arts, and athletics? Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows offers a rigorous curriculum to develop strong minds with an additional focus on growing good hearts. DCSB has been an A school for 8 years, and our tuition is free. Now enrolling. Apply at baymeadowscharter.org.
Expert Automotive is ready to keep you cool this summer. Right now, get an AC inspection or a system cooling checkup. Your choice for only $19.99. Their gift to you this summer is $50 off any service and a free tire rotation with any service. Their ASE certified technicians can keep your car cool without breaking the bank this summer. Call them at 374-3373 to get an appointment today. Expert Automotive. They never sell greed, only what you need.
How long would it take to reach the moon from Earth at the speed of light?
Hurricane season is here, and now is the time to ask your agent about your homeowner's coverage. It's time to make the change to Southern Oak Insurance.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
It would take only 1 second. That's right, just 1 second to reach the moon at the speed of light, and only minutes to reach the sun.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
If you're ready to transform your yard with a fence that stands out, elevate your curb appeal with Superior Fence and Rail. Superior takes pride in offering first-class service, friendly installers, and unmatched fence products. Mention this ad and get $250 off your next project. It's time to get off the fence and call today.
When you're on the fence about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is Hacker After Dark on 1010XL. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
Back here on 1010XL at 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville. We are glad you are with us. Jaguar training camp ongoing. 3 practices in. They will be back at the Miller Electric Center tomorrow morning for practice number 4. The pads will come on towards the beginning of next week. Let's talk Jaguars. Let's talk training camp, and let's look around the rest of the AFC South with my buddy Derwin Gray, a 4-year NFL offensive lineman. In fact, he just won a championship in the UFL with Birmingham, and Derwin's always kind enough to join us here on 1010XL. Derwin, it's been a little while, man. How are you?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I know everybody was out on vacation, man, getting away from ball a little bit, man, getting that recharge, man, getting ready for training camp. So, man, it's been a little while, man, but I'm fired up to be back on.
Yeah, man, we certainly appreciate it. And let's dive into camp. You spent time with the Steelers right here in Jacksonville and with the Tennessee Titans, so you certainly know all about NFL training camps. Derwin, what's the mindset week number 1? No pads yet. That'll happen soon, but for those first couple of practices, what are guys thinking as they go out there?
I mean, it all depends on where you are on the roster and who you are. And I will start off for the young guys, man. Guys that's coming in right now. Mindset is definitely to go out there and learn as much as you can, fast as you can, because things gonna be, be thrown around. Bullets will be flying pretty fast. I mean, a lot of the rookies right now are trying to get acclimated to the playbook, the play style here in Jacksonville, man, because it's different from college. A lot of guys that's coming from different teams are trying to get acclimated to the playbook, but everybody learn at different speeds. And so for a lot of guys and young men, they're going to be trying to really just grasp the playbook and understand what's asked of them, because, I mean, right now, if you can't learn the playbook, you can't learn what to do, that's the fastest way to be out the building, you know what I mean, when cuts start to begin. So that's the mindset right now, is just trying to learn as much as you can, man, as fast as you can, and go play fast as you can on the field. And for most of the guys, I'd say the older guys, man, just continue to perfect their crafts. For example, like Josh Allen, guys like him, and just continue to get better, and not just get better for yourself, but help someone else get better, because now you're a leader. You are the guy that everyone looks at. You're the guy that look to help everybody. So you have to be that role to not just worry about yourself. Let's make someone else better now. So that's pretty much, man, how the mindset really get in training camp, because everyone is trying to get better. And in my mind, I don't feel like no one has a secured spot in training camp. You always have to prove yourself. Yes, you have the guys like Trevor Lawrence. You have the guys like Josh Allen. Yes, they may never get cut, but they still have to play up the par, man, to keep, momentum going in the way they wanted to go, to have the season they want to have and the longevity in the league they want to have. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's a good point. No, again, former NFL offensive lineman Derwin Gray here with us, and you have a great perspective, obviously, going through the training camps in Pittsburgh, in Jacksonville, and in Tennessee. You know, we in the media, Derwin, and you're making the transition to the media, we're always talking about that final 53-man roster. Obviously, there are guys that we look at out there that we don't think have a chance of making the team. For those guys, do they, I hate to say it like this, but I'm just going to, do they realize that, and they're just trying to get good tape for other teams? I mean, do they kind of know where they are in the pecking order?
I would have to agree and say yes. I feel like certain guys in the league knows. Are you just a training camp body? Are you a guy that potentially have a spot in his roster? And I would say early on, no one really have a secure spot when it comes to all these new bodies coming in. Everybody have the same great amount of chance of making a roster as others. But what separates you is knowing what to do on the field and playing fast and retaining information. And when guys feel that thing coming, man, you would know when you feel like, this might be my time, man. And it's all about, like I said, developing that film and putting things on resume, which is your film for the next team. Because when you get cut from one team, it's not over. You just go to another opportunity, which is another team, and continue to do what you do. And in football, it's just like everything else in life. Everything ain't always a fit. You feel me? So you just got to find where you fit at. And Jacksonville may not be a home for a lot of these guys that's in training camp, because there's a lot of guys out there right now that won't be there when it's come down to that last 53. But you have to continue to, you know what I'm saying, chip away and get better every day, because whether this your landing spot in Jacksonville or another team, you have to continue to develop and continue to play well and have that resume, which is your film, ready for the next team to grab you. But to answer your question, yes, most guys do understand or know when that time is coming. You can feel it. And you can read the room and understand what's in your room. If you're a guy that's undrafted, maybe you just playing okay, you're not making mistakes, but you're not really standing out. That guy that got drafted, maybe he may stay, but just because of the money was invested in him, you feel me? But it's sometimes in training camp, you just never know. There's always a few guys, right? There's always a few guys that sleepers that no one think will make a team, and all of a sudden he's running out on kickoff in week 1.
Well, I think that's I think that's a great point. You know, you're living proof of that. You showed enough in Pittsburgh to get signed in Jacksonville. You showed enough here to get signed in Tennessee. So, you know, when I ask you that question, I mean, you are kind of the guy I'm talking about. It didn't work out in one place, but you show enough to get signed by another organization.
100%. And that's all it is, man. Just continue to chip away, man, and continue to get better, because, I mean, football is a competitive sport, and every day, like, you want to control the controllables. And I always tell every guy that's in the league, a guy that get frustrated, you only control what you do. So you can't worry about what the higher power is going to do. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't show up every day, you don't do what you're supposed to do, doing what you can control, that'll be the easiest way to give those guys up above the decision to say, get them out of here. You know what I mean? So let's not give them that chance to do that. Let's do everything we supposed to do and let God handle the rest. You know what I mean? And if it's meant to be, you'll be a better situation, a different team, and you go ball. So football is a great sport, man, but it's a challenging one as well. So it's the best thing on the earth, man.
Former NFL offensive lineman Derwin Gray. Derwin, you were teammates during the 2021 offseason with Tyson Campbell. You actually were here the year Tyson got drafted in that great class with Trevor Lawrence and all the guys, Travis Etienne as well. Tyson gets rewarded with that brand new contract at the end of last week. Your thoughts on that and your thoughts on his career to this point?
Tyson, man, has always been, I would say, ahead of his time. When Tyson first came in, he always had great size on him. You knew that he was going to be a baller. You could just look at him, man. He had that he wasn't really a big talker. He wasn't a big vocal person, but he was very intensive to his work, and he showed it on the field. And he was just every day, he was just getting better every day. This is all he loved was football. And I think, man, it shows on the field, man, the love of the game, man, and how hard he plays and the attention to detail I like about Tyson, that he's very attentive to detail about his work. And I think he deserves it, man. I mean, last year, man, he had a great year last year as well. I think he brought about 42 tackles last year, man. He was doing well, man. I think that he deserves it. I think he's not only just now at this point that he can only worry about himself. I think now he has to continue to get other guys better, man, because he has proven himself that now he's a leader, that he can help someone else get where they want to be at. So,
you know, that's it's an interesting point. And look, it's all about taking care of your own, right? You look at what the Jaguars have done going back to last year. Re-signing Andrew Wingard, re-signing Devon Hamilton. Now they've re-signed Joshua Hines-Allen. They've re-signed Tyson Campbell. They've re-signed Trevor Lawrence. There was a time here in Jacksonville where that was not the case, right? I mean, they drafted a lot of guys that did not work out for whatever reason, but now they are taking care of their homegrown talent. What does that mean to the other fellas in the locker room when they see that?
Oh, man, I mean, that's something that you want to see, man, that your coaches have faith in you. And that's a good point I was about to say about training camp. I could just see the vibe around the team, man. It looks like guys are having fun. Guys are happy to be back around each other. Trevor Lawrence is out smiling. Mac Jones is out there smiling. Like, everyone's having a great time. So that's what you want as a coach, man, when you're trying to put together a program. I would say before him, Doug Peterson was broken. He's trying to put together a program of fun and guys loving to come to work and go compete. And I think that's what he's doing right now, man. And he's rewarding guys the opportunity to be here a Jaguar for life. But like you said before, that wasn't really the case. It was guys that was drafted that was gone the next year. And now he's trying to take care of his homegrown guys. And I think that's what an organization is need to be built on, man, is having those foundation of guys, man, that you can build around. You know what I mean? Like Trevor Lawrence and those guys. Because for example, when I got to Pittsburgh, it was guys that was there for so long, man. You had the Dave DeCastros, of course, Roethlisberger. You had the Pounceys, Alvin Nuevas. You had guys up front that was there for so long because the Rooney family just had to keep those guys in-house. And that's who helped start this thing. And I think that's what Doug Peterson now is trying to get guys to start something here, man, where we can have something to latch on to when it comes to our legacy.
Final moments with former NFL offensive lineman Derwin Gray. Derwin, I talked to another one of your former teammates earlier today, Walker Little, on that offensive line. You shared that offensive line room in 2021 with Walker as a rookie. Hey, look, there's a competition there, right, between he and Cam Robinson, and it's interesting because both guys are scheduled to become unrestricted free agents at the end of the year. Cam, I would think right now is probably the favorite, but I'm not going to count out Walker Little, and I'm just curious your opinion on that whole dynamic and how you see that working itself out.
Walker has definitely got a lot better since I've last seen him in person work with me. Walker, man, he has a tremendous upside, man. He's a big body, strong guy. You know what I mean? But Cam is a little bit more seasoned. I would say, man, he's been around the game a little bit. Cam has played a lot more snaps than Walker. But Walker is definitely a guy that you can't count out because as we look at the previous years, Cam has been banged up a few times and has been struggling to stay healthy and things like that. But when Cam is out there, he's definitely effective. He's definitely making positive plays out there. He's definitely helping the team move. So it's going to be interesting to see how this camp shapes out between those two with those guys in competition because there's much respect between both, but both got to feed their families. So it's going to be iron sharpening iron out there, and both of those guys out there competing to get better. But I know when camp is over, when that final roster is set, whoever the starter is, they are going to be ready to play, and they are going to be playing at a high level because iron sharpens iron.
The other tackle, Anton Harrison, I think I told you this already.
Yep.
I love everything about that guy. I think that guy is going to be a stud in a couple of years. I am very high on Anton Harrison.
I agree with you, Ryan. I think that guy is definitely a guy that I'm fired up about, man. Anton is definitely he's from the DMV area as well. He's a DMV kid as well. I'm fired up about the way he plays, man. I told you last time how he finished plays. He plays with a nasty streak, and that's what everything your offensive line coaches want. They want guys to finish through the whistle. Borderline almost a penalty for unnecessary roughness or all of that because of how bad he wants to win. You know what I mean? I like that about Anton, and last year, like you say, he's banged up a little bit, but man, I looked at the interview on him, man. He's fired up to be back, man. Now he said he feels like he could be back out there, fully healthy now. He can go ball and not have to worry about little injuries knocking him, and I'm saying slowing him down. But now he's excited to be out there at 100%. And he said, man, his big goals right now for the line is just for all of them, one, to stay healthy because if they're all healthy, they can play at a dominant level. And just go out there and just play as tight as they can be as a unit, and they will dominate. And we know for a fact that they're one of the best O-lines in the league. And I agree with them, man, because they got talent across the board, man, with the savviness they play, the veteran swag they play, man. I think that it's a great type of room they have brewing right now, man. So I believe they just got to put it all together, man, stay healthy, man, and continue to help one another, you know what I mean, to get to the top, man. I feel like they all going to play well this season.
Derwin, as we wrap up and say goodbye, look, I asked Dewey Wingert about this yesterday, and obviously, being a former teammate of his as well, he's never one to mince words. Everybody's talking about Houston, right? And if they're not talking about Houston, they're talking about the $1 billion that the Titans spent in free agency. And if they're not talking about that, they're talking about Anthony Richardson coming back for Indianapolis. It's almost as if Jacksonville, dare I say, has kind of been an afterthought in the AFC South. And if they're not an afterthought, they're being talked down to because of the collapse at the end of the year. I get a sense that really bothers a lot of these guys, whether it's Andrew Wingard, Evan Ingram had some comments about that earlier today, a chip on the shoulder of a lot of these players. We talk about that in the media. Is that real, though? Are guys still pissed about what happened at the end of last year?
Being in the locker room, man, you always feel like you deserve respect that you deserve. And I feel like the Jaguars has proven themselves last year and the year before that they are good enough to compete in the AFC South. I mean, last year they finished at 9-8. Yes, they should have been number one in the AFC South, but they finished out number 2 behind the Texans with a 9-8 record. But they had a great year last year. It just kind of collapsed at the end. Injuries happen, man. Things happen, man, in football. Sometimes uncontrollable by this game. So, yes, you're going to be pissed about sometimes the results of the season and people looking down on you, because I feel like Andrew Wingard has a valid point to be pissed about. He felt like they're a better team than what that record showed, and I agree with him. And let's talk about Houston, man. They do have let's be real, there's a lot of offensive good pieces in this AFC South this year, man, from the Colts having Anthony Richardson, Alec Pierce, Pittman. They have a strong receiver core. Now you have the Houston Texans emerging now with Diggs, that group, man. Then you have with C.J. Stroud, him emerging to get better. I see the connection between those two. But then you have the Tennessee Titans with, Hawkins, Ridley, and Levis. Those guys are emerging together. So it's a lot of talent in this AFC South. But Ryan, let's talk about the NFL. There's a lot of talent all across the board. Talent doesn't win games, man. Playing together as a team is what win games. So we can look at all the talent all around the board and what people have and what they don't have. But the team that's going to win is going to be the team that plays together, the well-coached team, the team that has a will to win regardless of what the circumstances is. And I feel like that's what Doug Peterson is creating right now is who cares about all the talent? We don't have talent. Let's play together as a team and let's go outwork our opponent every day, and we're going to come out on top. And I feel like that's their mindset right now.
Derwin, we got about 60 seconds, and forgive me because I don't know the answer to this. I think I do. You were in the UFL last year, and you were in the USFL the year prior, right? And you won back-to-back championships. And my question is, this new kickoff thing that we're about to see in the NFL, was that a part of those leagues? Have you seen this thing in person, what's going to transpire beginning next Thursday night in the Hall of Fame game with this new kickoff rule?
I think we did have that last year when the guys are more pushed up together, so it doesn't have that big gap between the guys running down and the guys that's making that hit. So I think it's just a safety rule, man, to try to reduce concussions and a lot of big hits down there like that. So
do guys like it? I mean, I'm curious, like, do players talk about it? Because it's just weird compared to what we've been normally seeing there.
It's definitely different. That's the hardest thing for all the viewers right now. It's going to be hard to see it from traditional football, but I haven't really seen a lot of people complain about it. I mean, I haven't really been around a lot of people that's complaining about it, but it's definitely different. But it also gives up a lot of yards on kickoff returns, too, because it's like, that gap gives the runner, he's fast enough to go get up at least to the 25 every time. So that's why it's kind of a little weird. But, I mean, hey, it's football, man. We got to adapt to it, and we got to get used to watching it, man, because it ain't nothing going to change whether we like it or not, as viewers, as fans, as media, all of us. So, but it's definitely more of a safety tip to help the players and concussions, reduce the concussion level.
And I do like it because it actually brings the kickoff return element back. It's going to look weird, but you are actually going to have guys returning the ball on kickoff. Derwin Gray here with us, former NFL offensive lineman. Derwin, really appreciate the conversation. We'll certainly do this again well before the Jaguars' first preseason game. Thank you as always, my friend.
Always, man. Appreciate you, Ryan.
Denny Hamlin.
I'm Denny Hamlin, driver of the number 11 Toyota Camry for Joe Gibbs Racing.
Denny Hamlin wins his second Daytona 500.
And you're listening to 1010XL, Jack's Sports Radio.
Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
It's time to fire up your grill, shoot off some fireworks, and launch one of the biggest sales in the history of the United States. It's our independent sale happening right now at Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet. Whether you drive a car, a truck, or an EV, everyone is welcome to celebrate our independent sale with the lowest prices, largest inventory, and the most love for our country. Come celebrate with Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. You don't want to miss this.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
I'm Jeff Middlecoff with Trustline Mortgage. My business partners, Alan Tyre, Bill Pappas, and Ken Rimley, have been helping first-time home buyers with their mortgage financing all over Florida for 34 years. First-time home buyers can get no or low down payments, anywhere from 0 to 3.5% down. As a first-time home buyer with Trustline Mortgage, you get added benefits for doing your loan with us, like lower rates on your mortgage insurance and lower closing costs. Oh, and did I forget to mention that Trustline gives first-time home buyers better mortgage interest rates? Here's the bottom line. Trustline Mortgage wants to help first-time home buyers accomplish your goal of home ownership. That's why Trustline Mortgage is offering the best first-time home buyer benefits around. Period. Trustline Mortgage delivers with no and low down payments, lower closing costs, and better interest rates. Call Trustline Mortgage today at 381-LOAN. Yes, 381-LOAN to find out how we can help you buy your dream home. Or visit our website at TrustlineMortgage.com. Trust your instincts and follow the line to Trustline Mortgage.
Certain restrictions apply. See office for details. Trustline is an equal housing opportunity. MLS number 331480.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, Prime Men's Medical Center will get your sex life back in just one visit. Their painless, breakthrough medical treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Prime Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Prime Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments will restore your sex life regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. Plus, you'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 904-902-8222. 904-902-8222. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 904-902-8222.
Here's your 1010XL community calendar of local events and nonprofit groups helping people here at home.
If you'd like to play or sponsor in the ALS Amelia Island Golf Classic, August 9th at Amelia Island Golf Club at Long Point, go to alsgolfamelia.com.
Help make Jacksonville safer and play a round of golf at the First Coast Crime Stoppers Golf Tournament, October 21st at Amelia River Club.
Canines for Warriors provides veterans with lifelong companions in one of their highly trained service dogs. If you know a veteran who could benefit from a companion or simply want to support, visit caninesforwarriors.org.
If your home is missing a little love, the Jacksonville Humane Society has over 100 pets of all ages and breeds looking for a loving home. Find yours at jackshumane.org.
There is a critical need for all blood types. Please consider donating to a local blood donation center.
You can find out how to share your community event at 1010XL.com.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. Hurricanes happen in Florida. That's not news. But what happens even more often than hurricanes are home break-ins. And if security is important to you, you might want to look into hurricane-rated impact windows.
What you may not know is that hurricane-rated impact windows not only help protect your home in case of a hurricane, but they also offer another level of security for your home.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube that show people trying to break through an impact window? A thief is way too lazy to spend his energy trying to break through one of our impact windows. That's why he doesn't have a real job like you. He'd rather break your non-impact window while you're at work. Window World has high-quality, very affordable hurricane-rated impact windows to help protect your home from hurricanes and from lazy thieves.
Call us today at 904-443-7001. Get a free estimate and see for yourself. You save energy, get more security, and the windows add value to your home. With all Window World windows, you get the best guarantee in the window replacement business.
Window World,
simply the best for less.
And thank you for your business.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Hacker. After Dark on 1010XL.
9 o'clock hour has arrived. We'll take you all the way up till 10 o'clock tonight to close out the week here on Hacker After Dark, 1010XL, 92.5 FM. My conversation with Jaguar defensive back Darnell Savage from Jaguar training camp comes up in less than 2 minutes. I did want to throw out a couple of things in the National Football League. Saw some highlights from the Arizona Cardinals. They, I guess, had a practice inside their stadium earlier today, and our guy Zay Jones made a ridiculous one-handed grab on the sideline, got up, did a little flex. That's a guy I'm rooting for. I was a Zay Jones fan when he was here. It's unfortunate things didn't work out where he couldn't have remained as the fourth, I guess, wide receiver option. But I get it. If you're wide receiver 4, you're playing special teams. And I don't think Zay Jones was going to be playing a lot of special teams. So it really didn't make sense to keep him. He goes out to Arizona. I hope he does well. He's obviously off to a great start as he made a ridiculous catch. The fans got all fired up. So good for Zay and his new home out there in Arizona. And then Tua gets his contract. If you missed this, the Dolphins and Tua signed a 4-year, $212.4 million contract. That's an average of $53.1 million a year for Tua. That makes that the third highest paid quarterback yearly, behind Cincinnati's Joe Burrow and behind Jacksonville's Trevor Lawrence. But Tua gets his deal done. Now I guess all eyes turn to both Jordan Love and Dak Prescott. Those are the next two that are up. But good for Tua. He's signed, sealed, and delivered. 4-year extension down in Miami, Florida. A guy that will be looking to stop Tua in 44 days is brand new Jaguar defensive back Darnell Savage. Really enjoyed the conversation with Darnell. Again, thank you to the Jaguar PR team for helping us out all week. Had the chance to talk with Darnell Savage at Jaguar training camp down at the Miller Electric Center. Here is that conversation on Hacker After Dark. First day, Jaguar training camp out of the Miller Electric Center. Ryan the Hacker Green out here with Jaguar defensive back Darnell Savage. Darnell, how'd camp go today?
Good. Good to have all the guys back, see everybody. Camp is just an exciting time for everyone. Even the fans, just to have them at practice, you know what I'm saying? It's just, the energy is great, so it's always good.
Is it like the first day of school feel? Is that how you would relate it to?
Nah. I don't know. I wasn't never too excited for the first day of school. I ain't gonna lie to you, but yeah, it's definitely the feeling is definitely special. Just it's like a communion again. You come back together with all your friends. You know what I'm saying? Your family, really. So it's good. You talk about you, Eric Armstead, Ronald Darby, bringing in a lot of veterans on this defense. Armstead comes from San Francisco. You come from Green Bay, winning cultures. What do you guys hope to provide to some of the young players on this defense coming from cultures like that? Yeah, really just show them what we learned when we were, at where we were at, and just bring that same energy and that same vibe that, we've experienced in these other places, I think we have a special team here, and I think this is a special place, I think there's a lot in store for us here in the future, so we're just all excited to be here and just come together and just get to work. Being an unrestricted free agent, you had a lot of options. What was it about Jacksonville that led you here? Obviously, beautiful, sunny Florida. You can never, underestimate that. And then, just the coaching staff. I know I worked with Corey in the past over at Maryland. Talking to Coach Richard, Coach Nielsen, all those guys. It's just the group here is special, and that's from front office to coaches to players. So it's exciting times. You've been a young guy in the league, but you're now one of the veterans. When you see Jarian Jones, you see DeAndre Prince, you see Antonio Johnson. What do you think about some of the young guys in that secondary? They're all eager, and they're smart too, just willing to listen, willing to learn. Sometimes I kind of forget I'm an older guy because I still feel relatively young. There's still a whole bunch of stuff that I want to, accomplish in this league. So, just coming to work with them and just giving them the knowledge that I have and just being that resource for them, whenever they need it. That's my main goal. A couple more for Jaguar defensive back Darnell Savage. Ryan Nielsen's scheme. He's new to Jacksonville. What can you tell the fans about Ryan Nielsen, the kind of coordinator he is, and what this defense is going to do this year? Oh, man, fiery dude. always ready to work. He's a guy that you love just playing for. You know what I'm saying? And what was the last part of the question? I'm sorry.
Just as far as what kind of defense you guys are going to be this year. He wants to be an attacking style defensive coordinator. Is that what you see from him?
Yeah, absolutely. We're excited. We're going to get after it. We're going to have fun doing it. So it'll be great.
Wide receiver room you guys go up against every day. Christian Kirk, Gabe Davis, Brian Thomas. A lot of talent over there. What have you seen from those guys so far?
It's good. It's kind of that iron sharpens iron kind of thing, And normally that's how great teams are built. The battles at practice. If you're your toughest look at practice, you go against each other every day. Then when you get out there to the games on Sundays or Mondays or Thursdays, whenever it is, it becomes a little easier. So, we just go out there and we compete every day to the fullest of our abilities. And that's what the special part about all the guys in that room and all the guys in our room, we're all competitors. We're going to get after it. And at the end of the day, we're going to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get on the same page. We're going to see, what'd you see here? We're going to learn from it. So this is good.
Let's wrap up talking about you a little bit. When Darnell Savage isn't on the football field, what are some of your hobbies?
I got 2 dogs. I kind of just like to go where the wind takes me a little bit. I play the game a little bit here and there when I have time. I like to kick it with the guys. But it's so much to do here in Jacksonville, Florida, coming from Green Bay. So it's easy to just get out and find something to get into. So it's good.
Let's end with that. I wasn't going to go there, but since you did, Green Bay to Jacksonville, we know about the passion in Green Bay, but it's Green Bay. You go from the frozen tundra to Jacksonville Beach. What has that been like for you?
It's been honestly, it's been great. Just the sun, just the vibe, all the people here, just everything here is just it's on the up and ups, and I just can't wait to add to it.
Last question. Doug Peterson met the media earlier today. He was asked about the alpha males on the defensive side of the ball. He mentioned Foye Oluokun, and he mentioned Darnell Savage. What's your reaction to Coach giving you a little love like that?
Honestly, it's a mindset, and it's not really a belief. It's a no. I feel like you believe in something, there's still a little bit of doubt there. It's a no, and you got to walk it in. You got to talk it, and I try to bring that every single day. So,
Darnell, welcome to Jacksonville.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
This just on Hacker After Dark.
So thank you to Darnell Savage for joining us down at the Miller Electric Center during Jaguar training camp. While we were playing that interview, literally we had just said Tua, 4 years, $212 million with the Miami Dolphins. Well, I guess that was enough for Green Bay to go on because, according to Adam Schefter, within the last 5 minutes, Jordan Love has now also agreed to an extension to stay in Green Bay. Second quarterback of the day joining Tua. This a 4-year, $220 million contract that makes Jordan Love the highest paid quarterback in NFL history. He also gets $75 million signing bonus and $155 million in full guarantees. That's amazing, and I'm not faulting Green Bay because Jordan Love was absolutely sensational from about Thanksgiving last year to the end of the year. But it was 12 months ago where we didn't know what to make of Jordan Love because we had never seen him. Aaron Rodgers was the guy in Green Bay. So you go from July of 2023, is Jordan Love the guy? Is he the future? How's he going to replace Aaron Rodgers? Yada, yada, yada. To now here we are, July of 2024, and tonight the Green Bay Packers give Jordan Love the highest paid contract per year basis in NFL history. Wow. So you're talking, what is that? $432 million in contracts handed out today to 2 quarterbacks, Tua in Miami and Jordan Love in Green Bay. It's good work if you can get it, man. If you can sling that football around a little bit, they will pay you. There's no doubt about that. I guess the next domino now is Dak, and then that'll be the final domino for a while, as we've seen Jared Goff get paid this offseason. We've obviously seen Trevor Lawrence get paid this offseason. Now we've seen Tua and Jordan Love get paid this offseason. And remember what Burrow and Herbert got last year, right about this time. So over $1 billion in quarterback contracts here in the last 12 months. Absolutely wild. But congratulations to Jordan Love. He's set for life. Congratulations to Tua. He's set for life. And we will see if those decisions by Miami and by Green Bay will ultimately pay off. Again, thank you to Darnell Savage of the Jaguars for joining us. I also chatted earlier in the week with Andrew Wingard. You know, I did this yesterday. Dobson, I don't know if you heard this or not. There's 90 guys out at the Jaguar practices this training camp, right? 90 is the number. Of the 90 that are out there, how many of those guys have been in Jacksonville as long or longer than Andrew Wingard?
I did not hear it, so I'm going to take a guess and say none.
There have been a few, but only a few.
So three. I changed my answer.
3's not bad either. Let me give them to you. Tyler Shatley, who's been here forever. Cam Robinson, who's been here since 2017. Logan Cook, the punter. And Joshua Hines Allen. He's been here as long as Dewey. And that's it. Of the 90, those 4, Allen, Cook, Robinson, Shatley, are the only 4 that have been here as long or longer than Andrew Dewey Wingard. He's a fixture with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And one of the things I love about Dewey is he will speak his mind. And he spoke his mind to me earlier in the week on a lot of topics that I think you will find very interesting as a Jaguar fan. That conversation's next on a Friday night, Jacksonville, Florida, with Casey Dobson. I'm the hacker Ryan Green. We're glad you're with us as we roll on till 10 o'clock right here on Hacker After Dark, 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Now, a 1010XL Summer Olympic Update brought to you by USAPark.net Airport Parking.
Westwood One Sports presents this special update on the 2024 Summer Games, sponsored by Napa. Elevate your engine performance with Napa Full Synthetic Engine Oil. A hot air balloon with a ring of fire representing the Olympic cauldron, and the lighting of it officially kicked off the games in rainy Paris. Believe it or not, it's the first Olympics for 4-time NBA champ and 2-time MVP Steph Curry, who's used to the marathon of an NBA season.
The only thing you think about is just it's not 82 games, and there's no pacing yourself. If you can't go 0-2 and be like, all right, we're good. We've learned the lessons and figure it out from there. Like it's a sprint. It's very March Madness kind of style.
Curry in the U.S. Open with Serbia on Sunday. Teammate LeBron James, playing in his 4th Olympics, was the first men's basketball player ever to be a flag bearer for Team USA. With this Summer Games update, I'm Brad Heller, Westwood One Sports.
Looking for a way to elevate your engine's performance? Start with Napa Full Synthetic Engine Oil. It provides faster oil flow for hot and cold temperature protection in the harshest driving conditions. Regular use can help your engine run cleaner and longer by defending against sludge and buildup, improving overall engine performance and fuel efficiency while increasing the time between oil changes. Make the switch without slowing down. Feed your ride Napa Full Synthetic Engine Oil. Available now at Napa locations nationwide.
If there's one sale I'm always going to shop, it's Kohl's Friends and Family Sale. I just saved an extra 25% because I spent $75. But even if you spend less, you can still save with 20%. And Kohl's has everything you need for summer fun. I got a cute dress for myself, a casual polo for my husband, and a ninja creamy that we can't wait to use. Oh, and I earned Kohl's Cash. Kohl's. Your Friends and Family Sale never fails me. Select styles. Some exclusions apply. Offer ends July 28th. See store or Kohls.com for details.
Hey there, Weekend Warriors. It's Matt Hayes. Sick of that slice? Tired of those 3 putts? What if I told you your handicap isn't about your swing, it's about your weight? Why not take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame with the Waco 180? We're talking 10 strokes off by August, getting your tour card by September, winning your first major. Year 1. Think about it. Fame, fortune, and most important, winning $5 off your buddy because you, sir, are closest to the pin. Taking strokes off your game is just about 40 pounds away at Waco180weightloss.com. Awaken 180 does not guarantee an immediate 10 strokes off your score, receiving a tour card, or the ability to control the weather. Individual results may vary. Your newfound athleticism might cause jealousy among your foursome, leading to accusations of steroid use. Awaken is not responsible for defending your honor in the clubhouse. Awaken 180 cannot guarantee that your newfound golf prowess will lead to a sponsorship deal, but we can't not guarantee it either. Awaken 180 is not responsible for any dramatic fist pumps or unsolicited golf tips you give to strangers. Awaken 180 does not offer refunds for any lost wagers made on your improved golf game. Bet wisely, my friend. Strokes off your game by dropping pounds off your frame. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's challenger, a paint color namer from Jacksonville, Florida. Meet Irving Stapler.
Hi, Howie.
So the next round is word association. I'll say a word and you give me the first word you think of. Engagement ring.
Jeweler.
Gas station.
Fueler?
Aaron Burr.
Dueler?
Air conditioning.
Wow. Jeez. That's a toughie.
Come on, Irv. The sponsor's going to kill me now.
Oh, Bueller.
That's right, Irv. If your AC is struggling through the summer heat, the first name you should think of for fast, friendly, 5-star service is Bueller Air and Plumbing. The name to know to make sure you are cool.
Have a beer, Irv.
Cooler.
Stay cooler with Bueller. Visit BuellerAir.com.
You're going to feel a puff of air.
Jong's Optometry has set their sights on staffing up.
Try the next line. Hey, Kim, can you tell our 2 o'clock we're running 15 behind? Sorry, we're a bit backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
Where are the dilation drops?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
1010XL breaks down training camp all day. Listen for camp news with analysis and insight from the practice feed.
Everything counts!
1010XL's training camp coverage is brought to you by Roland Reach Plumbing and Kingfish Pest Control.
Soccer fans, don't miss your chance to see teams from the English Premier League compete in the Stateside Cup right here in Jacksonville. Competition will be fierce when Wolves and West Ham United take the pitch under the lights at Everbank Stadium July 27th. It's Premier Soccer at a premier venue for one night only. Tickets are going fast. Buy yours today at StatesideCup.com.
I'm with Greg from Cycles of Jacksonville, and now that you have Honda boats on the showroom floor, tell them about the big boat sale.
We are excited. We got a big sale, 11th through 13th. You want to come on down, see us in person. Some of our boats are going to be up to 30 grand off.
Up to 30 grand off?
30,000 in savings. It's a big sale event.
So they can start shopping online at cyclesofjacksonville.com. The size of the boats?
Anywhere from 19 to 24 foot, all with legendary Honda outboards.
Honda and Coach, check them both out on Atlantic near Regency. Cycles of Jacksonville.
Training camp is about the basics.
Focus on the fundamentals.
Every time something you need to know happens at training camp, you'll hear about it on 1010XL. Brought to you by Kingfish Pest Control and Roland Reach Plumbing.
David Garrard here. Playing in the NFL can put a lot of wear and tear on your body, especially your knees. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist has kept me mobile and ready to tackle every day.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
The coolest thing going on right now is the summer fan sale with 3 ways to save at First Coast Lighting and Fans. Browse their huge selection of high-quality fans to match your desire for elegance, quality, and uniqueness. Buy 1 fan, save 10%. Buy 2, save 15%. Buy 3 or more and save 20% off summer pricing on all fans. Visit their showroom near the avenues while inventory is still available and discover the difference that locally owned expertise makes at First Coast Lighting and Fans.
This is Hayes Carline here to help you break free from the chains of pest infestation. The talk of this town is Kingfish Pest Control. By now, many of your neighbors have already joined the Kingfish Revolution, leaving their homes and lawns protected and pest-free. Now it's your turn. Call Kingfish Pest Control and say goodbye to termites, ants, mosquitoes, and other annoying pests. Trust me, you'll get exceptional service and understand why your neighbors and I use Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jaguars.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. He's Hacker. After Dark on 1010XL.
Day 2, training camp, Miller Electric Center for the Jacksonville Jaguars. We've got Andrew Dewey Wingard with us. Dewey, how are things going out there?
Going great. Got to get the legs back a little bit, though. You know, you can't really prepare for football shape, so it's a little bit of grind out there, but it's been good. It's been good to get back and just put last season behind us and just get to work.
I told you it's always a good day to have Andrew Wingard, but it's a really good day with 2 interceptions today off of Trevor. Talk about the performance out there. You're looking good.
Thank you. Just playing ball. I really got to praise our defensive staff, Coach Nielsen, Coach Richard. They really got us dialed in on our assignments. And when you know what you're doing, you can go out and play fast and make plays, and that's the game of football. So shout out to them and just playing ball.
One thing that we always like about you, and I think you know this, is you speak your mind. And I think you had some comments at the end of last season that might have been a little critical of the way things ended, and whole new defensive staff, basically a new defensive staff, a lot of new players. What are your thoughts on all the changes on defense?
Definitely not to say anything about last year, but just to praise the guys this year. They're great coaches. I mean, Coach Richard was with Seattle in their heyday. Coach Nielsen was obviously with the Saints for those many years when they were under Sean Payton playing great defense. So they know what they're doing. They know how to coach great defense. And to me, it's just they have our eyes right. They have our stances right, our assignments. It's like when you get a bunch of guys and you put gray area, and guys are thinking, you know, you can make great football players, not great football players. But when great football players know what they're doing and can play fast, look out. So,
well, the mix in the secondary is interesting too. It's you, Cisco, Campbell. You guys have been here a while, but a lot of new guys: Darnell and Ronald and Jari and DeAndre. Just talk about the mesh of the veterans that have been here a while with the new faces that have arrived.
Right. Everyone. It's like the first day we met here. It was like we all knew each other. There's something about Cisco and DT, Tyson. They're just such fun guys to be around. Such great guys. And it's crazy because I've been teammates with Cisco and DT and Tyson for like 5 years now. So it's just super cool that we have such a tight-knit group. And then you bring in Darby, Antonio Johnson, Darnell, all these guys who are great players. And we all just can feed off each other. But it's really the off-the-field stuff. Like, we all love each other. Like, we're all great friends. We're sitting with each other at lunch every day. And that really makes us want to play more for each other. And it helps us play better. It elevates us. So to your point, having all those guys in here, especially like a Ronald Darby, you know, you need one vet who's been around, who's won a Super Bowl, AFC championship last year with the Ravens. It's like those young corners are learning so much from him. And then with Darnell, I mean, he's been a great safety in this league for a long time, and he can play nickel as well, but I'm learning a lot from him too, and I learn a lot from everybody. So we got a really good group.
A couple of more for Andrew Dewey Wingard here with us on 1010XL. We talk about longevity. I looked at the roster today, 90 guys out there. Less than 5 have been here as long or longer than 42 has been here.
Yep.
Just your thoughts on your career here in Jacksonville, and you're one of the guys that fans really flock to.
Well, I've just been blessed. Got to attribute it all to God and Jesus Christ, my Savior, truly, because I wouldn't be on this journey if it wasn't for God. So that's the biggest thing. But then, you know, it's cool. Yeah. It's cool, you know. I pride myself on, I want to be one of the guys, and to be one of the guys on this team is cool. But I want to go win. I want to go win bad. I want to, you know, plant a legacy. So that's the goal this year, is to get the you-know-what after it. So I'm super excited. And, you know, to be here with my guy Josh Allen, see him get re-signed. You know, we're the last 2 guys of the 2019 class. So we got a really good bond. And it's just super cool. And I love Jacksonville. I love the fans. I love the team. And I want nothing more than to see this succeed here. So.
And you were here in the dark times. I mean, let's be honest. You were here with some times that were not very good. So, I mean, just compare and contrast. The fans of the Miller Electric Center today, all the new contracts that were signed this offseason, it is, for us in the media, it's 180 degrees. I can't imagine what it's like for you that lived through both of those eras.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. We were talking at lunch the other day. I was talking to Chad. I was like, when I was here, I don't even think Doug Marrone even knew who I was for 2 years, honestly. It was that kind of vibe. It was just like it wasn't good. It was a bad culture, and you knew when you stepped out on the field, it was like, we're going to lose. It was just terrible. But now it's like, okay, we're here. We got this new facility. We got great players. It's really Doug. Like, when you see Doug leading the way, like, he's a winner. and you want to follow winners. So there's definitely a culture change, but it's time to win. It's time to win. So we can all sense that. And it's weird because last year it was more of like, oh God, we have to win. But now it's like, it's time to win. Everyone's got that look in their eye. Everyone's ready to roll. No one's thinking and just going out and balling.
As we begin to wrap up, Dewey, you and Devon last year, this year, Tyson, Josh, Trevor, Foye. I mean, rewarding guys in that locker room that have produced on the field. What kind of message does that send to the guys?
It tells you that it's funny because all the guys that get paid are the hardest working guys. Like, I thought I was going to be the last one out of the facility last night, and Foye was just getting into his treatment. You know, D-Ham, Roy. It's like the hardest workers on your team are the guys that get rewarded, and that's what the young guys see. Gabe Davis got paid. He's one of the last ones in and out of there. So that's what the young guys see, and that's what should get rewarded, and those are the guys that do get rewarded. And again, back to culture, that breeds the young guys, and it breeds the next generation, and hopefully just to sustain success. So I think that's what it's attributed to.
Final question, Andrew. Everybody's talking about Houston. Everybody's intrigued with the money Tennessee spent. Anthony Richardson's coming back in Indianapolis. And then there's the Jaguars.
I'll stop you there. Good. We don't need any. Good. Let them have all the hype. I look back on 22. We were hungry dogs that were out to prove something, so good. That's all I had to say.
You're one of our favorites. We always appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Do you realize where we are?
No.
Look around, man. The clean, modern aesthetic, the cool blue color palette. We're in
1010XL.
It's time to fire up your grills, shoot off some fireworks, and launch one of the biggest sales in the history of the United States. It's our independent sale happening right now at Beaver Toyota and Beaver Chevrolet. Whether you drive a car, a truck, or an EV, everyone is welcome to celebrate our independent sale with the lowest prices, largest inventory, and the most love for our country. Come celebrate with Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville. You don't want to miss this.
Blue here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Hun, the drain really smells.
Yeah, wow, it does.
I think it's getting backed up. What should we do? Did you just quack like a duck?
Yes, I did. Duck Rooter, your plumbing pros in Northeast Florida. Need help with a plumbing issue at your home or business? Just call the Duck.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
Quarterbacking can be complicated. Denny Thompson simplifies it for us.
Yeah, I want to tell you what's really happening at the quarterback position.
Friday mornings on The Drill, brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security and George Moore Chevrolet on 1010XL.
Now that's what I call high quality H2O.
If you want high quality water throughout your home, call your local water boy. We install equipment to solve any water problem. Waterboy, JAX.com.
For the greenest, lushest lawn on the block, choose the local legends, Roundtree Sod. Don't just settle for ordinary. Let Roundtree Sod deliver you a picture-perfect lawn. To get a free estimate, call 7414-SOD. 7414-SOD.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville, it's Hacker After Dark on 1010XL. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
Back here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville, we are glad you are with us. Boy, college football, we are getting closer. We're roughly a month away from the first Saturday of college football. SEC Media Days in the books. The ACC kickoff going up this week up in Charlotte. There is a ton to get into when it comes to the Gators, the Dogs, the Canes, and the Noles. And with that, my buddy Brent Beard. You see him locally on First Coast News, and you get him weekly right here on Hacker After Dark. Brent, it's been a little while, man. Hope you're doing well.
Well, good to be with you, Hack. And what also is amazing is because they're playing week 0, Florida State begins practice this week.
Wow.
And the rest of the SEC is on the field next week. So that really does tell you how close that we are. I mean, I've heard people say they're bored with preseason camp. Man, are you kidding? People waited 9 months for this. You'll get the most information you've ever gotten. So I know some of it's routine, but just to have your favorite team on the field is pretty exciting, frankly.
And it gets here quick. Like you mentioned, the college guys are getting started. The Jaguars open training camp this week, and we got high school media day next week down at Everbank Stadium. So things are getting cooking, no question about that. All right, Brent, I was on vacation last week, so we didn't get to chat, but SEC Media Day is now in the books. Anything strike you? I think the predictions from the media made sense to me. Everybody loves Georgia and Texas, and that seems to be the way the media is thinking as well.
It is, but our thinking has to expand because what we're looking at now is basically we're going to get every year a minimum of 4 to 5 teams from the SEC into the playoff. So our thinking now has to go from the top 2 to basically the top 5, and that's how things have changed. And you've got a lot of teams probably would rather not play in the SEC championship game and have a week off. Now, and these conferences are spreading it out a little bit and giving your all SEC teams and the team votes to the day after the meeting is over. So that stretches it out even more. I think the thing, just briefly, that came out of it was Dallas did a nice job. Next year it's back in Atlanta. One of the real themes was there really wasn't anything outlandish or really unusual that went on. I mean, Texas and Oklahoma, this was done for them, and it worked out fine. Their players and coaches did a good job. I thought Sarkisian in his burnt orange suit was impressive. Another interesting thing was the job that Nick Saban did as an analyst again was superb, and he is going to elevate game day tremendously in the fall. There's always nuggets you get from it, frankly, but it was maybe as quiet, maybe, Hack, an SEC Media Days that we've had in a while.
You see Brent Beard on First Coast News. You get him weekly right here on Hacker After Dark, and certainly there were a lot of events in the world going on last week, during Media Days, and I was on vacation. But the one thing that I did take note of, the Lane Kiffin, Paul Feinbaum thing was kind of interesting. Now, I don't know if that was tongue-in-cheek. I know they have a history. But for people that didn't see it, Feinbaum gets all the coaches on his show. Lane's sitting right there at the desk, and Lane kind of went after Feinbaum a little bit for some comments Paul had made in the past.
Lane basically said to him, tell me what you do well. So, Paul just kind of carried through. I didn't think he was overly flustered with that. I think part of what was going on with Lane was his father Monty Kiffin, who was a legend in coaching, died a few days before media days, and the funeral was going to be the Saturday following media days. So I think a lot of that was on his mind. But, I mean, look, Lane is that way, and when he gets something on his mind, he doesn't mind expressing it. So, yeah, he was not happy at that point with Paul from what Paul – and I think a lot of what Paul said was before Ole Miss. I mean, anybody who's followed Kiffin can appreciate – I mean, whether you like the guy or not, he's a tremendous coach, and B, to his credit, he has matured over the last few years. Age does that to all of us. Yeah, you're right about that. That raised a few eyebrows as much as anything.
Brent, my eyebrows were raised when I saw your notes, and I saw this when it came out at the end of the week. The media votes on the preseason first, second, and third teams for both offense and defense in the Southeastern Conference. Now, there's 66 guys, if my Wolfson High School math is correct, right? 33 on offense and 33 on defense, first, second, and third teams. Florida had 2 of those 66. 1 on offense, second-team running back Montrell Johnson, and a third-team corner in Jason Marshall. And that was it. And if people want to know why Florida football is predicted to finish 10, 11, 12 in the conference, just look at those first, second, and third preseason all-SEC teams.
Yeah, and I mean, overall, they had, less than 5 in the first, second, and third teams. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. Now, I do think it was certainly appropriate that Graham Mertz was among the better quarterbacks. I don't have any doubt about that. And it would be interesting to see who some of these have some of these other Florida players will go up the ranks here at the end of the year. I mean, obviously, if ETN would have still been with Florida, I think he would have been on there too. But I mean, your point's well taken. And look, heck, they've got to take that as some kind of motivation, don't they? And use that during the preseason camp to get some folks' attention and let them know this is something you've got to change. So I'll be curious how the Florida coaching staff uses that as motivation.
Yeah, by the way, Trevor Etienne, the first-team running back. And when you talk about Graham Mertz, I like Graham Mertz a lot, and this is no disrespect to him, but Carson Beck was your first-team quarterback, Quinn Ewers was your second-team quarterback, and Jalen Milroe was your third-team quarterback. There's absolutely no argument there when it comes to Graham Mertz.
Yeah, I agree. I also think that Mertz, by the time the season's over, I think he will be impressive enough to where he may move into that category a little bit too.
Yeah, the interesting thing about Mertz, again, there was a lot of lukewarm reaction to him from Gator fans last year, but I thought Graham Mertz performed beautifully at times. But then the argument to me, Brent, is when you talk about, again, these are preseason, SEC teams, so it's not like rocket science. But when you look at this list, again, 66 guys, only 2 Gators, Montrell Johnson and Jason Marshall. I'm not sure if there's a compelling argument for anybody else on the roster, which is, again, I don't know if I could use the word indictment there, but that's where Florida football is right now.
Well, it is. Now, I will say, I think some of the guys that they have recruited will help them along the line, but Billy Napier probably doesn't have time for these guys to grow up, does he? So that's a real problem with them. I think you can make an argument that Eugene Wilson by the end of the year will be one of the better wide receivers. I think Hank, by the end of the year, if he develops like we think he could, he could certainly be up there too.
You know, I'm counting the Georgia guys on here. And again, for people that want to know where Florida is in relation to Georgia, 66 players on these first, second, and third team offense and defense. The Gators have 2. Georgia has 10.
Yeah.
All right? So that's where the programs are. Now, Florida's got to narrow that gap, but unfortunately, and I know they just got Vernell Brown, which is a huge addition, a 4-star, 5-star, depending on where website you're on.
Right.
He chose the Gators over Ohio State, Florida State, and Miami, and that's a huge get for Billy Napier. But you need to get those guys on a monthly basis. Georgia's getting those guys on a weekly basis, Brent.
Yeah. Oh, they are. And they've had another incredible recruiting class. I mean, Alabama's number 1, but Georgia certainly is going to be, by the time it's over, in the top 5, if they're not in the top 3. But there's no doubt. I mean, and that's why they're number 1. They've got the number 1. They've got the talent, but number 2, they've got talent developed, and that's what you've got to be able to do with both of them. There are a lot of these schools have got really good players, but they haven't developed them. So, and look, for instance, with Georgia. You've got Dominic Lovett, the Missouri transfer, who's third team, and Oscar Delp, who is third team. And frankly, by the end of the season, you might make the argument those guys could be first team guys.
Final moments with Brent Beard. You see him locally on First Coast News. You also get him weekly right here on Hacker After Dark. Brent, this leads us to the soap opera that is becoming Florida State and Clemson in the Atlantic Coast Conference. ACC kickoff going on up in Charlotte. The thought was that this potentially is the last year, at least for Florida State in the ACC. Hold on one second. Pump the brakes there. That may not be the case, as this appears to be getting stickier between the Noles and the ACC as the days and weeks go by.
Yeah, and the shame of this is it's almost being played out in the media. And because you've got all this media together, you're seeing some of that. You're seeing some of that from the commissioner. And the commissioner is not only defending himself, Jim Phillips, but also John Swofford, who was before him. So you've got some of that going on. Now, the big thing that came out on Monday was that Florida State and Clemson, particularly Florida State, may not be declaring that they're leaving the ACC by that August 15th deadline. Well, number 1, that still may happen. I know that was making the rounds at media days on Monday. But the point is, even if they don't, what they're trying to do is they're still working on a settlement with the ACC. And look, Hank, this is like everything in life. They're just trying to get the money right, and they're trying to pay as little money as they can in order to get out. So this is really why the two entities, the ACC and Florida State, they need to get this done and be able to move on with life. But even if they don't go with the August 15th deadline, they're still getting out. It's just a matter of when.
You know, we talked about this earlier in the offseason as we begin to wrap up, Brent. Not that I'm a conspiracy theorist by any stretch of the imagination, although goodness knows you could be in today's day and age with everything going on. But the ACC and Florida State, I mean, the Seminoles still have to play with ACC teams and ACC refs. I mean, look, that's weird, right? With what's going on publicly, and they're still in the conference, and they're being officiated by guys that are employed by the Atlantic Coast Conference.
Well, there's no doubt about that. And the other thing you think about is, I mean, how difficult is it going to be for Florida State on the road? I mean, look, opposing fan bases don't need much motivation to get on to whoever the opponent is, and Florida State is going to be dealing with that also. And I think to your point, I mean, my goodness, how awkward must it have been to trying to concentrate on just talking football when everybody wanted to ask Mike Norvell, when are you leaving? Are you leaving? What does this mean, and where are you going? So, listen, there's not going to be anything easy for the ACC and Florida State over this over the next few months.
All right, Brent, what do people need to know? We got about 90 seconds. Leave them with something they need to know going into this weekend.
Well, I think that some of the carryover that I got from media days. One of them was that I was impressed with Jeff Lebby, the Mississippi State head coach. So why would we bring him up? Well, when he was in Oklahoma and the offensive coordinator, by the way, and it came out during media days that Nick Saban tried to hire him. In the beginning of last year, and Lebby stayed at Oklahoma. But the point I wanted to make is Lebby's teams in Oklahoma, they ran a play every 23 seconds. So, and I'm thinking about the Gators schedule here. As you know, they play Mississippi State. Now, look, Florida's got better players than State does right now, but it's a September game. And heck, I just wonder if he could get Mississippi State to go at that kind of a pace, what kind of a challenge they would be this coming season.
And that is a big game for Florida. They need to win that game. They need to win as many games as they can leading into the cocktail party here in Jacksonville. You see Brent Beard right here in Jacksonville on First Coast News. You also get him weekly here on Hacker After Dark. Brent, we'll be back to recap ACC kickoff next week, and by the time you and I talk next week, practice, fall camp will be underway, and we will be well inside of a month until the season kicks off. Thank you as always, bud.
All right, glad to help, brother. Take care.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
And thank you to my buddy Brent Beard. You see him locally on First Coast News. You also get him weekly right here on Hacker After Dark. We are now inside of a month, if you can believe that, inside of a month away from college football. First game out of the gate, Florida State, Georgia Tech, Saturday, August the 24th, over in Dublin, Ireland. Well, we did a lot tonight here on Hacker After Dark. It was a lot of Jaguars, obviously. Training camp 3 days in. They will be back out at the Miller Electric Center tomorrow. They have an off day on Sunday, and then they're right back at it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week. And next week is when the full pads will come on for the first time since that loss to the Titans to end the 2023 season. That's always one of the biggest practices of training camps. So certainly looking forward to taking that in early next week. Well, that'll just about do it. It has been a very, very busy Friday night and a very busy week here on Hacker After Dark, and we certainly appreciate you for spending with us here on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM. We have a ton of people to thank. Again, my buddy Brent Beard. You see him on First Coast News. You hear him right here on Hacker After Dark as we talked Florida State, recapped SEC Media Days, talked about the ACC kickoff that was going on earlier this week in Charlotte, North Carolina, and we always appreciate Brent taking time out for us. Back in hour number one, thank you to former NFL offensive lineman Derwin Gray. Derwin is fresh off a UFL championship in Birmingham as a player, but Derwin was drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers, spent a little bit of time here in Jacksonville, spent a couple of years with the Tennessee Titans. Derwin's going to join us pretty frequently during the year here on Hacker After Dark during the football season. So we appreciate Derwin and his perspective, 4 years in the National Football League along the offensive line. And thank you to the Jacksonville Jaguars PR staff. Tonight you heard interviews from Darnell Savage, from Andrew Dewey Wingard, and earlier today I got a chance to catch up with Walker Little. Really appreciate all of those guys for helping us out here on Hacker After Dark. And again, thank you to the Jaguars PR staff for setting all of those up for us. We'll be down there tomorrow as well, scheduled to talk with Devon Hamilton. I'll also have one from Monday's practice as well, so we'll have a whole bunch of stuff to kick off next week right here on Hacker After Dark. Casey Dobson was your producer tonight, in for Dylan Denmark. Casey, great job as always. I'm the hacker, Ryan Green. And again, Jacksonville, thank you for spending not only your Friday evening, but really all week with us here on Hacker After Dark. And as we always tell you, and believe me, we cannot possibly tell you enough how much we absolutely appreciate it. So for all of us here on HAD, have an absolutely terrific remainder of your Friday evening and a fantastic weekend. And we will do it all over again Monday night right here on Hacker After Dark, beginning at 8 o'clock. Until then, good night, Jacksonville.
You have heard about the 1010XL YouTube channel. Now check out our team-specific channels, 1010XL Jaguars, 1010XL Gators, and 1010XL Seminoles, bringing up specific, up-to-the-minute video coverage of your favorite local team. And find us on YouTube today.
Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Jenkins Genesis of Northeast Florida is coming soon and now hiring for technicians, sales, and all positions. If you or someone you know are looking for a new opportunity, apply online at genesisnortheastjacksonville.com. Equal opportunity employer.
There's certain places you know if you go in, they got what you're looking for, like Gate Convenience Stores and Cold Modelo's. That's the ticket.